There you go.
Okay. Wow, we live. Season 7, episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, we are on the. Oh, we are. Oh man. Well, welcome everyone to a new season of Haunters Hangout. This is our Transworld special show. We are going to be going over the show, and we will have an opportunity for our guests to win some prizes tonight. In order for you to win some prizes, we asked that you guys leave some questions in the comments stating that whether they're Transworld related questions or if they're towards the vendors that we have on the show tonight. So please leave a comment in the questions, or leave a question in the comments below. And if you're going to Transworld, please start off with Transworld, so we can give away the prizes for those that are going to Transworld. So with that in mind, I'm going to pass it over. Well, actually, first I want to introduce my co-host tonight. We have Jose Diablo. We have Jamie Huggins. We have Kathy LeBeau. And then obviously myself. You know, I'm the show person tonight, not Tater. I'm the main host. No, I'm just kidding. But Jamie, I'm going to pass over to you, and
you're
we're going
doing
to go over
such a
some
good
prizes.
job. Why don't you just go through it?
Oh, I'm not that good.
Just kidding. Okay.
You did pretty good, Phil. You did pretty good. Woo!
Yeah.
You did really good.
I quit. I'm not going on after this.
Okay. Well, I have a ton of awesome prizes to tell you guys about. So for starters, one lucky winner will receive this amazing mask from Face Factory FX. Yay! Woo-hoo! And then Frightprops is giving away a bucket of poo. It's a metal bucket filled with human waste. Just what everybody wants.
We want that.
Sinful Audio is giving one lucky winner one free SFX library, 25% off of original sound design, and 10% off of amps and speakers. Yay! Now, Horrornaments is giving away a Gone Batty Bat ornament.
Yeah. Woo-woo.
Yay! Froggy's Fog is giving away 1 gallon of bog fog juice.
Straight from Tater. Tater will deliver it to your house.
Open to U.S. residents only.
Yeah.
Scareit Badges is giving away 7 awesome badges that you can give to your actors.
Woo woo! I got the P1.
Sam Haynes is giving away 50% off to everyone watching tonight who goes to his site and orders using the code Haunters. Yay! Nightmare Makers is giving away one of these beautiful, amazing, awesome skulls that everybody wants one. So, great prize. Then, where are we at? I Love FX Makeup is giving away a $25 gift card. And Exotic Lenses is giving away 1 free non-prescription normal size pair of lenses to one lucky watcher tonight. Yay! Hot Wire Foam Factory is giving away a $25 gift card. Missing Fingers Production is giving away this awesome mask.
Wow, look at that. Punisher.
And then, like Phil said, if you are going to Transworld and you start off your question with Transworld or TW for short, then I'll know that you're in to win one of these awesome prizes. So 3 winners will receive 2 passes to Thursday night's City Music Party, sponsored by eTix.
I'm sorry, was that a city what party?
City Museum Party? Did I say it wrong?
Yes.
So sorry. It's the first show. What am I, we're doing our best here. Then 3 other lucky winners will receive 2 tickets to the Saturday night Vampire Ball, sponsored by Fearworm and Donate Insurance. So yay!
Woo-woo! Good luck, everybody.
All right. And that's
All
it.
right. Nice. Thank you, Jamie. She did an amazing job there. So I have to now pass it over to probably the host that's better than me. So, Tater.
Phil, buddy, you said that you were the host and I was just the co-host. So why don't you go ahead and introduce the guests for us?
Oh yeah, it's gonna go that way, huh? All right. Okay, let's see. So we have Jen and Rich from the HAA show or Transworld. So welcome, guys. We also have Larry from the Darkness and also does the tours, right?
Yay! Legendary Larry.
Legendary Larry. We have Melanie from Nightmare Makers, who's currently. We have Kevin from Missing Finger Productions. And then we have Mike Murray from iHeart FX Makeup / Exotic Lenses. So, welcome, everyone. How'd I do, Tater?
You did a good job. It's Mike from
I love.
Sorry.
No, it's not I Love Makeup anymore. It's FXX Makeup and Exotic Lenses.
See, this is where if you hosted, you'd be better than me. So I have some work to get to.
Just so we're on the same page, the drinking word tonight is trade show. Anytime somebody says the word trade show, you take a drink. Go. You know, I know we have a special guest in here. We called him in at the last minute. It is my good friend and my best buddy, Larry the Crusher Kirshner, is on the show.
You know what my nickname used to be?
No.
It used to be Cracker Kirsch.
Why?
Because back in the Commodore 64 days, I used to crack codes on games and upload them so you could download them. And so yeah, I would put my name, Cracker Kirsch.
Cracker Kirsch.
Yeah, does anybody here ever own a Commodore 64?
I did.
Way before our time, Larry.
I was, yeah.
Shut
I
up,
got a
Red.
Nintendo system one. Larry, let's talk about, since I know you've got to go, you got people waiting on you. So we'll run through your events, if you don't mind. I know on Wednesday, you don't have anything going. So that was a good opening thing on there. On Thursday night, you have the Darkness Behind the Scenes tour.
Yeah, actually, we have our escape rooms are open the whole entire week, but and we're building a brand new escape room. And for those people who went to our escape room last year, we've redone our cellar completely. It's actually really fun. And we've gotten rid of our subway. We built a pincade in the escape room. And then we also, how does that keep happening? And then we also built a brand new escape room called the Pirate's Curse. So that'll be going on every day.
Just explain what is a pincade, Larry.
You know, like we have 11 pinball games. And so like when people are waiting for the escape rooms, I found that, you know, people just want to have fun at escape rooms. It's a social experience. And right now it's really big to build these social bars. Okay. And they're doing it with everything, a mini golf or axe throwing or escapes or bocce ball. I mean, it's kind of nutty. And so I decided just to add pinballs and board games. And so more people are coming in early and having more fun. So there's 11 pinball games. One is called Houdini, which is a escape themed pinball game.
Do you have a bar? Is it a bar?
No, but as you've seen, we're trying to sell our zombie themed haunted house, which is right behind our escape room. And then we're going to build the rest of it out as a bar. And it's going to have bowling, axe throwing, a pincade, and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay. So let's talk about the Darkness Behind the Scenes tour. So it is on Thursday night from 7 to 9:30.
Yeah. So on Thursday, we do a behind the scenes tour where you can go to Lempery, the Darkness, and our escape rooms, by the way. So they're blocked off. And so then if people aren't aware, the Limp Brewery's in like a real old Gothic like style castle cave, and you can go through that, and then you go to the darkness, and you can go through our escape rooms, and see them, walk through them, touch everything, and then the zombie haunt in the darkness. Yeah. And then on Friday we'll open the Limp with actors, and then on Saturday we'll open the darkness with actors. And we have spent a lot of money, as you can imagine, trying to get it ready.
All right. It says darkness tours tickets are extremely limited. There is a selling out part of that. It's from 7 to 9:30. You're going to start letting people in and doing the tour at 7 exactly, Larry?
Yeah, so like the very first year that we did the Darkness Haunt Tour, that was 10 years ago, I learned a lot of lessons, let me tell you, for opening for haunted house owners, okay? Like, let's just say what not to do, okay? Not what to do. And so, like, we've done it with the time ticketing, with our fear ticket, and we've done it where, it's limited because especially like on a behind-the-scenes tour, like every haunter, you know what a haunter is, right? Everything you touch, I wonder what that's made of. I wonder how that was made. I wonder what materials they use. So you always know a haunter because they're touching everything, right? And so they go through the haunted house extremely slow. And so that's why we limit it, so that, we're not rushing anyone in. And we just opened last Saturday for Valentine's, and we limited it that too to 1,000, and that sold out as well because the same deal. Want to space them out really good, and but that first year doing the Darkness Haunt Tour for Transworld, we learned more about operating a haunted house than I would say in any other year that we did it. So it was actually a good thing to get criticized through the grapevine and back again. So it actually helped.
And Larry, kind of give a brief, because a lot of people don't know you, or can you give a brief like introduction or a little blurb about who you are, what you've done in the industry, what makes your haunted house so great, stuff like that?
Well, obviously, I mean, we build attractions all over the world. I think my company, Blacklight Attractions, and we used to call ourselves Halloween Productions. We've worked for everybody, from Universal Studios to every theme park. Matter of fact, almost every theme park in the United States, we helped them get into the haunted house. It was like the first haunt Cedar Point ever had, we built. Kennywood, we built. Kings Island, we built. Almost every Paramount park. We don't really build haunted houses so much more anymore. We really like building the mini golfs. We've also done a lot of dark rides. And then, of course, we do Haunt World magazine, which, by the way, that's at the printer right now, and that's coming out. And then, of course, we run 3 haunted houses here in St. Louis, and we've been doing this haunt tour for 10 years. And I came to the realization, after probably spending about $6 million on this haunt tour over 10 years, maybe, I could find better ways to spend money. So I'm making this the last one that I'm doing.
That's it. Larry, one and done. This is it.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody something, because this is a fact. I get a lot of questions, and people say, well, why are you charging twice what you charge for the regular season? Or why are you, whatever. The very first year we did the haunt tour, in a 4-month span, we built onto the building. We added 17,000 square feet. We built TerrorVision from scratch, the Horror Museum from scratch, and we totally renovate the building. And we built this building, and then I think we also built like 3 attractions for other people, and it almost killed everybody. And so every year I keep saying, man, I'm not going to do that again. And then every year we do it again. and it was a couple years ago that we built the zombie haunt and all the escape rooms. And then even the year you were talking about with the haunted hotel, where we didn't have it ready for Transworld, that was super stressful. And so it's just stressing out everybody, because I just really feel like I don't want to open the haunt unless I'm going to do something for the haunt industry that they've never seen before. And as you know, last year with the clown, the It Clown, we got all those views all over the internet, having that clown made for us, and doing that section. So but it's very stressful, because in between in between Halloween ending, we've built 4 attractions for other clients. We're building a new escape room, renovating the Darkness, renovating Limp, Okay, it's just too much, and it's like killing everybody. But we've had fun doing it. It's just time to like make this the best tour ever and move on. But by the way, you know, it's like Jen's doing lots of stuff now, like with the City Museum and the
We'll get to Jen and Rich, but I know you're pressed for time because you have to go to your haunt and finish touching up and everything. I want to make sure that you have time to promote your events.
Yeah, so we built like 2 amazing scenes in the darkness. I don't know if anybody's seen the videos. We built this thing called Skull Kingdom. It's actually a funny story, to be honest with you. So I was at Transworld. I don't usually buy anything at Transworld because we've already, you know, done everything, you know. And so I'm sitting there, and Ed Edmonds comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Larry, nobody bought this giant skull." And I'm looking at this thing, and it's like 500 feet tall. It weighs like 6 million pounds. And he's like, "Oh, we're trying to sell it." I'm like, "No way." Then he comes back to me like an hour later, and he goes, "Okay, what if I sell it to you for this amount?" I was like, how the hell are you even going to move it without a forklift? And I was like, okay, whatever. So I bought it. I didn't know what to do with it. It sat in my shop for 5 years. And so finally we went on this purge and we sold a bunch of stuff out of the shop because we had enough stuff to build 5 haunted houses. I said, you know, that big old skull, we got to get rid of that thing. And so that's where we decided to do this Skull Kingdom, where basically everything it's the biggest scene in the darkness. Everything in there attacks you, and it's skull based. So you get attacked by like a giant skull snake, skull warriors, the skull lord, a big skull demon guy that you walk underneath that Unit 70 made for me. And so we did that. And then upstairs, we also were building this like nun-inspired scene. And we're doing things in the haunt tour this year that we've never done before because I bought a CNC machine and we heavily use it for escape rooms. So this is the first year we've used a CNC on the haunt. And so that it's really going to be cool. I think people are going to like it, especially the nun-inspired scene because we're going to have all these crosses in the ceiling. And we're also going to have a priest on a cross too. I don't know what kind of, no, it's a nun on a cross. I don't know how that's going to go over. But we have all these crosses with frosted glass, and then we put LEDs and we built light boxes behind the crosses. So then it's going to be like a light show. So instead of strobe lights, it's going to be crosses like that are a light show. I don't know if that makes sense.
I didn't follow you on that one. A light up like neon cross show.
Well, if you saw the movie The Nun, they walk down a hallway and there's like all these crosses hanging from the ceiling. And so I thought it would be cool if we made every cross like where you cut out the centers and you put in frosted glass and then you put LEDs and you program it. So instead of just crosses hanging there, it's like a cross light show. It's hard to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
First of all, what is your favorite haunt that you've ever been to? You can't say your own. I know you're going to try to.
Darn it. Actually, I don't go to haunts. I haven't been through a haunt when it was open. I've been through one in 15 years. That was 13th Gate. And I would probably say that was the best haunted house I've ever seen. So 13th Gate, and he's also got the best escape rooms I've ever seen. This place is really amazing. And then, of course, I like Netherworld, and I really like what Haunted Overload's doing. I really like that attraction a lot. And I have another haunt, as you know, called Creepy World that's similar to like Haunted Overload. But that guy, I just really like what he's doing. So those would be some of my favorites, I think.
Larry, Sean Boswell would like to know how you got started in the haunt industry. Were you a home haunter before, or?
You know, it's actually a really interesting story, and I tell people all the time, especially when I do seminars, whenever you're going to start a business, you have to believe in yourself, okay? And you have to bet on yourself. And if you don't believe that you can get it done, then don't do it. Go work for somebody else. But I literally was just working at this haunted house. Actually, the real story is I was in high school, and I was wanting to be a film director is what I really wanted to do. And so I was working at a TV station while I was in high school. And the big haunted house, my friend said he was going to go. I said, I'll get free tickets. I'll go over there and say we're going to make a video. And I went over there, and then that guy ended up hiring me, and I helped him on a Christmas show. And then he never paid me. And then the following year, he called me and he says, hey, can you come help on a haunted house again? I said, sure. And I'm sitting there with spray cans, bottles in my hand, and we're trying to put the haunt together in 2 weeks. And I just said to myself, wait a minute, this guy didn't pay me last year. And I just dropped the can. And I walked out the door and I went to a gas station. And while I was there, I was getting a drink, and there was a flyer on the worst flyer I've ever seen. I wish I would have saved it. It had a church and a Casper the Ghost like clip art flying out the window, and it said The Haunted Church. And I said, this guy could use my help. And it was just right around the corner. And I went over there, and this is the first time maybe ever that the term was used. I'm a haunted house designer, and which I wasn't. And I just walked in there and I said, hey, I'm a haunted house designer. I think you need some help. Because he had like a Raggedy Ann and Andy scene. So there was a rocking chair, and it had the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, and he had like a knife stabbed in it, and he had a gorilla cage with like like garden hoses so the gorilla can get out. And so we renovated that haunt, and then next thing you know, I was working there for 5 years, and I was really determined to make it the biggest haunt in St. Louis. And by the 5th year, we went from 8,000 people at $3 to 38,000 people at, I think we were charging 13. And then he fired me because he said, we don't need you anymore because we're so successful. And so then I was downtown St. Louis, and I had opened a bar, and I saw this building, and it was all vacant. And that's where the darkness went. And then I just walked in, and I talked to the guy who owned it, and I said, man, I thought it was vacant, but no, that he said that the reason why he had a for sale sign on it was to scare away unions. And so anyway, when I was trying to come up with a name for the darkness, on the side of the building, and it's still there today, it says the Sunshine Factory. And I was like, man, it's like complete darkness in there. How's it called the Sunshine Factory? And that's because they had like 400 windows, and that's how we came up with the name of the darkness. And then next thing you know, like people started asking me if we could build haunts for other people, and then we did that. And we did a Spider-Man dark ride. I mean, I never thought any of this stuff was going to happen. It just did. And I never got out of it.
And you seem to be the only haunt in St. Louis. You own 3 of them. Are there other people around St. Louis or in St. Louis's area, or are you pretty much it in your market?
Well, when I started, there was probably 20 of them. Okay.
And what happened?
Well, I think what's happened to the whole haunted house industry, it's just gotten so expensive to get in it that, back in the old days, there was people open a haunted house in an old gas station. Okay. Never get it fire inspected or anything. And I remember at House on Haunted Hill, had already been open for 2 years, and then the fire department got involved, and they said, you're not opening this again without a sprinkler system. So that was my first, like inclination. Oh wait, you have to make these safe? Like, really? Because I remember the first year we did haunts, I was also an actor in the haunt, and I had a real Bowie knife that I ran around with. Okay. And my cousin, who is the one who helped me start Haunt World, and he died of a heart attack many years ago. He was actually Jason. And this is a funny story if you want to hear a really funny story. So the first year we did my first haunted house called House on Haunted Hill, I was an actor. I was a mad doctor. I had a real Bowie knife. Another person had like a real drill with a big drill bit on it. I mean, it was really dangerous, right? My cousin dressed up as Jason, and he had a real machete, and he would follow people through. And we got all these complaints because he smelled really bad. Like he hadn't taken a shower the whole season. So finally, somebody asked me to go talk to him. And I said, Danny, we have an issue here. Like now you need to take a shower, okay? He says, but Larry, Jason's dead. You know what I'm saying? Jason's dead. I need to tell the part. And I'm like, that's really taking it to the extreme, I think. But maybe you should just go ahead and take a shower all the same. But, I mean, back in those days, I mean, I didn't ever think about safety in a haunted house. And this is a real story because we built the whole haunted house, believe it or not, out of pallets. Okay. We nailed them together, and then we draped black plastic over it. And then the second year, we replaced all that with real plywood walls. And I remember having a bonfire, and I noticed how the pallets went up in flames in seconds. And I go, whoa. It's like, it's just like you learn along the way. But yeah, it was definitely a different time back then. I used to chase people with weed eaters, real weed eaters.
You would run around with a real knife, Larry?
I had a real knife, yeah.
Don't do that in Nashville. It's bad.
No. I'm not gonna do at Nashville.
Yeah. In the behind the scenes tours, are they allowed to take photos, videos, touch anything?
I used to have a partner, and I bought him out like last year, and he came by the darkness the other day, and he says, Larry, I was really checking out all the photos because, man, it's not even close. It's so much better in person. And it really is because, you build everything so claustrophobic. And, you want things to be right on top of people. Every animation that we put in now, it literally touches people. We want it to be real close. And he was just talking about how insanely detailed the place is. And he was saying to me, what else can you do? You'd have to take down something really good, right, to add something else. And I'm like, you're right. And so I think next year we're going to focus on building a social bar.
And you kind of touched on this. I know me and you from our conversations in the past, you used to act. Dr. Frightener is what they used to call you.
Oh, I know. I think I've challenged you to an act off.
Yeah, you won my life savings hung on your wall. But the stipulation was it had to be in front of your haunted house, in front of your judges, and I'm never going to win that no matter what you do, Larry. Do you still get in costume, or are you just too damn old and you're afraid that you might break a hip?
Well, I will say, and this is the truth, okay, acting is a young man's game, or young person's game, actually, because it is very tiresome, and I'm 49 years old now, which I can't even believe that. I used to always be the youngest guy in the industry. Now I'm getting to be, the oldest. But it's just, I couldn't do it anymore. There's no way. First off, I'm too impatient to sit in one place for 6 hours, so that would never happen. But it was probably about 5-6 years ago the last time I remember one night at Creepy World, we were really short actors, and I was getting all these complaints, that it wasn't scary, and I said, the hell with it. It was our busiest night, and I had my costume just like Batman, right? And I jump in my like Superman, I jump in the phone booth and I swap it out, and I said, come hell or high water. So everybody's getting scared because I'm going in. And I did that all night long. And I think that was actually the last time I ever did it. What's really funny? At the darkness, the first few years we did it, all the security guys, I owned a bar, so I hired really big guys. And I had this one guy named Ogre, that was his nickname. And he was probably 6'6", and he looked like Frankenstein. He was bald and he had scars all over his face because he always got in fights. And we actually dressed him up as Frankenstein. So I used to have the security scare people as security guards. And then, of course, I scare people as well. But no, I do not do it anymore.
I know you used to be a DJ too, and we have a great opportunity for you on Thursday before your tour, before the behind the scenes, from 5 to 7 on Thursday at the Holiday Inn, sponsored by Froggy's Fog, is the Transworld opening night party. And there's going to be a DJ there. Is there any chance that you're going to make a guest appearance and at least play a couple songs at that party, Larry?
Well, I'm so old, Tater. I hate to say this too. I'm so
maybe
old.
Bust out a moonwalk or two.
No, I don't know how to use the digital stuff. So you guys aren't going to believe this, but in my basement, I still have 3 Technique 1200 turntables, and I have about 3,000 12 inches. But if you have turntables, hell yeah, I'm coming. I'll scratch and spin and the whole 9 yards.
Can we at least see you do the moonwalk?
I can do the moonwalk. I used to dance on a TV show. I'm not lying. I absolutely. And I met Vanilla Ice twice. He was before Vanilla Ice ever became popular. He came to the club that I DJ'd at. He was on some kind of just get to know me tour, and I actually have his original album before he really got signed. It was him with a bunch of Ice Cubes, and I was like, God, he sucks as a dancer. I was like, he'll never make it. Then it was 6 months later, it's do 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 do. I'm like, what the hell? That guy's terrible. I've never seen anybody dance that bad, and he just made it. But yeah, I remember sitting right next to him, and he's like, yep. And he just, it was just a weird experience. But yeah, I met Vanilla Ice before he was ever popular.
Larry, if that's your claim to fame, if that's the only one person that you've ever met famous, I would keep that a secret, buddy. I would not. I would not brag. You got events going on Thursday. You got events behind the scenes.
Hey, I met Adam Levine.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, Super Bowl halftime guy, right?
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
one.
I know. I loved his wardrobe at the end. I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. So Thursday night, you got behind the scenes tour of the Darkness. Friday night, you have behind the scenes of Limp. Saturday night, you have the Darkness live. Is Limp going to be live as well, or am I missing that?
Yeah, and we renovated that as well. Last year we renovated totally because basically it was rotting, if you want to know the truth. And I never opened it for Transworld because it actually sucked. It sucked bad. So
I'm sorry, Larry, to interrupt. What days?
Moisture just destroys it. And so we renovated it last year, and we wanted to have that sort of theme, and it really didn't resonate all the way through. So we worked on it again this year. It's really cool.
So Thursday night you have Darkness behind the scenes. Friday you have Limp behind the scenes. Saturday you have Darkness with actors staffed.
No, Thursday is behind the scenes for all three places: the Escape, Limp, and Darkness. And then Friday is Limp with actors, and it's only limited to 600 people. And do you guys know Dan Fapal? You know Dan,
yes,
right?
from Creative Visions.
Yeah, he runs the Limp for me. And so he'll be there. And so that's limited just to 600 people, and then Darkness is limited to 800. But the behind-the-scenes tour is only limited to 350.
Okay, so
but that's on Thursday.
Just a real quick note on the Transworld website. If you're going to buy tickets for the Limp on Friday night, it does say it's behind-the-scenes tour. It is not a behind-the-scenes tour on Thursday night.
Thursday it is at Limp. And Darkness.
Thursday is both behind the scenes at Limp and the Darkness.
And the St. Louis Escape.com or St. Louis Escape.
St. Louis Escape.
Yep.
All right, Larry. Well, thanks for coming on.
And don't forget, you get to meet me because I'll be there.
There you go. He'll sign anything you want.
Just not
sort
for
of
you.
large.
Not for you. You're the only
large
one.
streaming prop in his booth. So make sure you all go by and thank him for that one.
Can't wait to see what it is this year.
Right.
Are you coming?
I won't be able to attend this year.
Oh, who's coming? Anybody?
I'm coming.
Who's coming?
I'm going.
You're coming? Okay.
I'll be
you guys, Jen,
you'll be there?
Hey, let me tell everybody out there in the haunt world, Jen's come to St. Louis in the off season, and I tried to walk her through in the daylight, and she won't do it. So I know she's not coming. I'm like, Jen, everything's turned off. We'll just walk through. I just want to show. Like, no, I don't want to. She won't go anywhere near a haunted house.
Yeah. No, that's not true.
But she
because I
lives
got
a
haunted house.
Go figure that one out.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Larry, for your
no
time.
problem.
If we get more questions, we'll get you somehow roped in. I know you have to go to work on the Pirates thing to make sure it's there. So we're gonna move on.
Feel free to call anytime. You take it easy.
Hey, you too, bud.
All right,
bye. Bye. We will keep it going with Phil. Who do you want to call on next, buddy?
Let's go over to Jen and Rich.
All right. First of all, bring voice issue. So she will not be very talkative tonight. We will have Rich do most of the communicating for Jen, just so Jen can save her voice a little bit. Jen, you want to talk about the trade show itself? First of all, what's going on? What can we expect? Is it sold out? Is it bigger than ever? Is it? What's going on?
I'll let Rich answer that one.
Okay, Rich.
It's sold out. That I don't know. I can tell you the floor is bigger than it's ever been. We increased the size of the show with that portion you don't want to talk about, and the rest of the haunt side of it. The show's grown about 35%, something like that. So it's going to be a lot bigger than it was last year.
So the haunt side itself is 35% bigger. You estimated.
Fine. The haunt show's increased as well. It's grown every year. It's never been smaller than it was the previous year. So it's grown every year. You got to consider that we pulled there were a lot of Christmas companies that were in the haunt show the last 10 years growing in there. They're all pulled out now. So none of them are in there anymore, and all that space was filled with newer exhibitors. There's probably, I don't know, maybe 70 new exhibitors this year in the haunt show.
Damn. And then down the middle of the room, you have the Escape Room City.
Yep. Yeah, that's on the back side of it. Yeah, right before where you would enter into the Christmas home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just so we're all clear, haunt show, then you go Escape Room City. If you start feeling a little uneasy towards Escape Room City, that you might wander into and get, a snowflake put on you or labeled as one of those Christmas guys. As soon as you hit Escape Room City, walk that show floor, turn around. But I'm telling you, some of the things that I've seen personally on the Christmas side of the show, and I know it's not a Christmas show, so hate me all you want, Diablo. But it is some mind-blowing stuff with that you can incorporate into your haunted house. So at least, it's not going to cost you anything extra, is it, Jen, to get into the Christmas show?
Yeah, so
you can walk into that show.
Shows, yeah.
It's one big happy family. But we're going to focus on the haunt. Bigger show than ever before. We've got the great party from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Holiday Inn. It's the opening night party. You want to tell us a little about the opening night party? What happens there?
That is just too.
Do you want me to just read it off the website for you, Jen? For Jen. Thursday night party, we got opening at the Holiday Inn. You will get 2 free drink tickets as long as you have your badge. That's the important part.
Hold on, Scott. Scott, you should at least let her try to lip sync everything you're saying. At least.
Yeah. Tater's voice and Jen's lips.
Right.
Bring your badge to that party. Get in on Thursday, 5:30. The doors swing open. If you bring your badge, you get 2 free drinks. Okay, that's 2 free drinks of soda, alcohol, whatever you want. 2 free drinks of that. You get a little bit of appetizers.
A little bit. It's pretty heavy appetizers, what I would say.
You get heavy appetizers. You have a DJ there. You got a DJ that's a haunted house person.
Right.
He is owns Fear Fair. He was last year at the MHC party. He brings the entire show every year whenever he DJs, and it is a spectacle not to miss. And that is free as long as you have your badge. After 7:30, at 8 o'clock, and this is a thing that I never thought we would ever do again, Jen. I really thought we were kind of boned on this, and we were never going to get back into this place. We are doing the City Museum party, and it is a private party. Is that correct?
We have the entire place to ourselves.
We have the entire City Museum to ourselves.
The difference from years past is we've always had it with other people there, and this time we rented out the whole place ourselves.
That was kind of the only way they let us back.
Yeah, based on just a couple bad apples, we basically
had to buy the whole museum.
We were forced into buying the whole museum instead of sharing with families.
So please come and support it. It was really expensive.
Yeah.
City Museum is a must-see for any haunted house people. It is the title says museum, but it is more like an adult playground. They will be, if you get a ticket, pre-order your ticket. It is $40. If you buy it on site, it's $45. You get a slice of pizza. You get a drink ticket. There is a cash bar. There's a candy counter that you can buy candy, some sandwiches and stuff. If you're still, still if you're hungry, there's a DJ. There's free parking if you have if you decided to drive to Transworld. But City Museum is a do not miss kind of a thing. Pre-show is $40. If you buy it on site, $45, and that is sponsored by our good friends over at eTix. I do not know much about eTix, but they are a sponsor of that party, and thank them for coming up, and thank you, Jen, for letting us back into the City Museum privately, where you don't have to arm wrestle a kid to swing off the giant foam pit or go down the giant 10-story slide. It is just haunters. Will always be haunters on that night. So that is a party not to miss.
Woohoo.
And that runs
Sad I'm
until.
not going.
I'm happy that you're not going. That runs until midnight.
I would have fought you for that rope, man. For that
That runs until midnight. And then way early in the morning at 7:45, we have a breakfast.
Hold on, I want to say something. Hi,
Okay.
Nicole. It's just someone that works with us. Nicole Ginsburg, you know who she is.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Nicole. We have a breakfast at 7:45. Jen and Rich are going to be there. 7:45. Talk
Cooking?
about a little bit about breakfast.
Really?
Rich,
This is a buyer for breakfast. He's
Yeah.
this is a $25 pre-show, $30 on-site breakfast where you can learn the tricks of the trade. Whether you're starting out or if you've been in the industry for years, the Transworld attendee breakfast is the perfect way to start the show.
Right. It's basically what it is. It's a good way if you're somebody that's new or newer to the trade show. It's pretty overwhelming because of how big it is. A lot of people complain they don't get enough time to see the floor and figure out who to buy from. You're in a room with a bunch of people that have been coming to Transworld for 15 plus years, and they give you their advice on how to navigate the floor and handle it in a 3.5 day span.
They also give you ideas on how to run your business if you have questions. But Tater, you missed the Wednesday night party that started
What's-
the show off.
The Wednesday night party.
Your hosting duties are done, man.
Yeah.
You missed
All
it.
right, so go ahead.
It's
Tag in,
over-under
so tell us
bar,
about the
man.
Wednesday night party.
What?
Can you
Wait,
read
what's
it? Just read it off the site. It's easier.
All right. From 5 to 7 on Wednesday night at the Over Under Bar and Grill that is located on the strip of where the convention center is. You literally walk out the convention center door and it is down about 2, 3, 4 blocks. That is a party. It is a social. $30 pre-show, $35 on site. It will run for 2 hours, and you're getting 2 hours with some of the best people in this industry. You're getting 2 hours with Ben Armstrong from Netherworld, Dwayne Sandburn from 13th Gate, the owner of the haunted house that Larry said was better than his, Dwayne Sandburn, John Eslich, who owns at one point the world's largest haunted house. You got Randy Bates from the Bates Motel. You got Tim Dunn from Fright Kingdom. You got Timmer and Anne Marie from Wisconsin Fairgrounds, and you got Nancy Doobie from Headless Horseman. They're all going to be there. It's a 2-hour event. You'll have toasted ravioli. You'll get some spinach dip, some pasta, some bruschetta, and non-alcoholic drinks like fountain sodas, iced tea, hot tea, some coffee and milk, and a cash bar. That runs on Wednesday from 5 to 7. Trade show opens on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Trade show hours are 10 to 5, and on Sunday, 10 to 2. So after the trade show's done, the trade show opens on 10 on Friday. You've got makeup demonstrations going on all day. Sponsored, the trade show floor is sponsored by Pasha Airbrush. You got the trade show going on at 5 o'clock, the HAA live auction. That's free to everybody that attends. It's a good way to get some of the props, some of the cutting edge stuff that you see on the show floor for cheap at the auction. It is in the convention center. It's usually upstairs, and I think it's in room 231 this time. Friday night leads us into the Limp Brewery from 7 to 10. You can buy those tickets online. I don't know if you can buy them on the gate or through Transworld. I'm not sure.
No, Larry usually, his wife sells them in her booth. They'll sell them in the Haunt World booth.
Okay. And then also Friday night, if you don't want to go to Limp, there's the Vampire Circle new event this year. Jen, what, Rich, do you know?
Yeah, so I mean, we posted some videos and stuff on Facebook and stuff, but I guess the closest thing you could describe is it's like a Cirque du Soleil type thing that's spun into like a haunted vampire type atmosphere. It actually, I mean, I've never seen the guy's stuff, but from the videos I've seen, it looks really amazing. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't know how well it would be received. We are really selling a lot of tickets to that thing. So I think it's something different. It's never been at Transworld before. Like most of the things that we've done are sort of more where you're hanging out, networking, and partying. This is like a live show that's theater seating. There's 2 different types of seating at the show, and we have like a premiere type seating, which is on the floor of where the stage is. It's in front of the stage. I think there's 500 tickets available for that, and they're only $10 more, so it's worth it. You know, basically the way it works is if you buy one of those seats, unfortunately the seats aren't assigned, but when we come in and we scan you, if you're a premier seat, you basically get down there and it's first come first serve. You get to pick your seat there, and then the rest of them are kind of it's just a theater seating. So there's different levels. There's balconies, you know, that you can go up into and seat and watch it. But it's going to be pretty cool. It's something unique, and we're really excited about it. Okay, so that was I was going to say. We're going to get a question of you know, a group, like let's say I buy a ticket for premiere, and my friend Rich buys a ticket, but they're tickets separately. They're both premiere. Right. Do you guys assign us seats, or do I just find Rich and say, hey, save me a seat, I'm next to you? Yeah, we're not going to be crazy about like somebody saving a seat or anything. That's fine. Like if someone gets in there, as long as they paid for the premiere, they're both premiere tickets, they can sit next to each other without a problem. You know, if one buys the general admission and then the premiere, then you got a problem. But I mean, it's for that, we're just going to kind of like, you know, let people in. You know, we'll probably have that area stanchioned off on the first floor, and the premiere seats will go in, and you know, we're gonna have monitors there to kind of prevent people from leaving giant holes, like, you know, an open seat in between, because it'll be based on where we are with ticket sales. So, and right now, I mean, it's going very well. And that's acrobats and fire breathers. Yeah, there's contortionists. There's all kind of stuff, and there will be, just to give you a little taste of it too. So at the Saturday night party, he's going to be doing some small performing there. It won't be stopping the party. It'll be stuff that's going on. He's doing some kind of water ball and something else. So we'll have a little bit of entertainment there that's coming from his. And he's also he does a Santa circus or something like that as well. He's going to be doing some acts throughout the day in an area in the Christmas show as well. Sorry, Diablo. You know, for in Oak Island's booth. So he'll be performing in there as well. But his stuff, look, I mean, the video is on Facebook. You should definitely check it out. It looks really cool. And you said he's doing a water. He's doing some type of water ball act in the ball. Okay, I heard bong, and I was. I mean, they're confusing. One's the Vampire Circus, and the other one's the Vampire Ball. But he's going to be doing some stuff at the Vampire Ball on Saturday night as well. But is this within walking? Buy your ticket for the Friday night tour or Friday night Vampire show. Now to get it, because it's probably going to sell out. Yeah. Is this within walking distance, or is it something that transportation? Yeah, so both of them. Yeah, it's at the center. The theater is inside the convention center. Oh, so, okay. Yeah, you'll just come back in there, and the party on Saturday night is in the convention center. We held them both there. And the Friday night thing, is it a dress up thing? Do I got to bring my red jacket and a bow tie? Yeah, you should come in a tuxedo. You know, an orange colored one with a bright green jacket. I'm bringing a red velvet jacket. Just for Jen. She loves that jacket. It's whatever you want to wear, but I mean, yeah, you're certainly welcome to dress up if you choose to. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm in jeans. Yeah. Jen's going to be in jeans. Yeah. All right. And then Saturday, trade show opens 10 to 5. You got makeup demonstrations going on. You got the State of the Industry seminar, which is in room 231. That is done by the HAA board. It's kind of going to discuss what went right, what went wrong, ask questions, share your experiences, what's the biggest trends, stuff like that. Directly following that is the Oscars banquet. That is free to everybody to attend. That's in room 241, right across the hall. Recognizes people who are exceeded excellence in the industry, vendors, stuff like that. So it's a really good show. Or a really good kind of a thing, so you can win awards, and you know, they don't just hand these awards out. You really got to earn these awards. These awards are very special, and it's really the cream of the crop. Yeah, I got one. I robbed them from a couple years ago. And then Saturday Night Darkness
$50, 7 to 10. If you don't want to go to that, 8 to 1, and the buffets from 8 to 10. You have the Vampire Ball, which used to be the Witches and Warlocks.
Yeah, so each year we come up with a new theme for it, is what it is. So that's what this year is. It's the Vampire Ball. Venetian Vampire.
It's a dance.
Yeah.
It's a dance party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty.
And you can dress up. You don't have to dress up. It's up to you, but it's a lot of fun.
Are you saying, Jen, the costume rule is lifted just for the Vampire Ball? So
It is lifted at the ball.
Yes.
If you have a badass costume, bring it to the Vampire Ball. Do not bring it to the trade show. Drink. Bring it to the Vampire Ball.
Fun part about this party is each year with the new theme, a lot of people try to dress up for the theme and come in, and then there's a step and repeat banner and places for photos, and then there's dancing and stuff all night.
And we have prizes. We're giving away a huge Gorgalore $2,500 prize.
Yeah. That's something that's unique for this year. Kevin from Horrornaments was gracious enough to donate a really cool photo op that he's giving away. It's $2,500, and everybody that comes to the ball is eligible to have a chance to win it, and it'll be given away the night of the ball.
There'll also be other cat prizes that you have a chance to win too.
Yeah, somebody said something about Taylor would deliver it for them for free. I don't know.
That was nice.
I don't know if that's included. That's very nice of him. That he's gonna truck it out of there and deliver it anywhere in the United States. Of course, he will not deliver it internationally.
Who's going to do that, Rich? Who's going to do that?
Scott Taylor.
I will slash your tires.
Right.
And then Sunday, the last day, trade shows open 10 to 2. And then we got to kick you out because we got to dismantle the booth and dinner to eat.
Don't forget every show there's free seminars. There's a free early bird seminar. There's also exhibitor seminars that are free, and there's demos on the show floor. And then obviously we have 70+ seminars for people to purchase.
Yeah. A mixture of everything.
Don't forget seminars.
Seminar 5-pack, $225. You get 5 seminars for $225. The Super Pass, that means you can go through Thursday through Saturday, $450 a person. It is very limited. That includes Halloween, Escape, Christmas, and Christmas DIY seminars. So it is good for any of the seminars, Thursday through Saturday. And then the free seminars.
You can also buy single seminars on the Halloween side.
Yeah, if there's just one seminar that you're looking at that you want to look at and go to, you can buy just that. The free seminars for Thursday is Make Some Noise, some good old-fashioned guerrilla marketing concepts by Rich Ham. The Elephant in the Room, which is an escape room ethics, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how we come together to change it. And there's a panel of about 5 different escape room owners, moderated by Lisa. We have that. We have a free seminar on Thursday as well called Stuff Your Stockings with Avid Revenue. That's a Christmas theme. That is speaker is Shane Dabbs. Friday, free seminar. And these are all at 9 a.m. The Nuts and Bolts of Event Safety. And that's a panel with Timmer, Ken Donay, Michael Juby, and Randy Bates. That is a free seminar. It goes towards your chaos safety certification if you have that. Escape room, we have one on Friday from 9 to 10. It is the setting expectations for escape room design in 2019. And the free Christmas seminar on Friday is Santa Can Make the Speaker of Joe Barney. On Saturday, we've got makeup, Bloody Mary's hands-on makeup to die for, decayed and rotted burnt ghoul victim. That is done by the infamous and one of the sweetest ladies ever, Bloody Mary. That's 9 to 10. That is free. The escape room free seminar is Escape Rooms or Magic and Other Love Stories. And that speaker is Bizarro, which I don't know who Bizarro is, but he sounds like he's fun. Greg Dow and Crystal Lawrence. And then the Christmas seminar for free on Saturday from 9 to 10 is Step into Christmas, Building a Christmas Brand Foundation to Fortune with Scott Gasparich. And I probably just butchered his name, and I apologize for that. And then there's a free seminar on Sunday, March 24th. It's a Halloween one. It is What's Wrong with Your Advertising and How to Fix It by the voice from hell himself, Dick Terhune. All of those seminars can be found on haashow.com. Those are all free seminars. And then there's a bunch of Thursday, Friday, Saturday seminars that I will not cover here just for time's sake.
Well, that's a lot of seminars. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and those are all the free ones. Those are all the free ones.
Right. I was like, holy shit.
You get those with your badge. So those are great.
So,
all right,
Jen,
where are we
Rich,
going to next?
Well, I just wanted to, one other thing is, I feel like we always ask this every year, but we always have new people who come every year too to a new trade show. So is there anything you suggest for the new people watching, what to do and what not to do? One thing I would say is please listen to me when I say bring comfortable shoes. I was fucking hurting last year. Do it. I don't care what anybody says. Like, wear flip-flops like Jose, for crying out loud, on the trade show floor. But wear comfortable shoes. There's a lot of walking that goes on.
After the first year, I was like, you know what? I'm wearing my flip-flops on.
Yeah.
If you see somebody from Haunters Hangout, buy them a drink, make them friends, especially if they're hosts, especially if they're in a giant booth on the trade show floor, stuck all day.
Froggies.
Froggies. You can buy that diet
OJ and vodka. Wink, wink. OJ and vodka.
You know what I would say too, that I think is important? Utilize the people that are at the show. The networking at this show is like no other. I mean, if you're looking to get into the business, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You have some of the most talented people in the industry right in front of you, and go up and talk to them. And they're willing to talk to you and help you. So I think that's another big aspect of the show. Besides the show floor and all the wonderful parties, the networking is amazing.
I agree with Jen on that, because I've never met a better community in my life that people will reach out and just basically talk to you nonstop and give you any experience they can give you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you see an Alan Hops, if you see a John LaFlamboy, if you see anybody and you have an idea, and just pull them and ask them. They're going to tell you, they're going to give you information. Probably the best time to do that is after the trade show, because at the trade show, we only have so many hours to buy. They have X number, especially Alan or John, who's running a booth, or Kevin or Mel, or Mike, they're running a booth. So the best time to talk about that is after the trade show is over, but definitely utilize the networking. If you're thinking about buying a prop, don't hesitate to swing by and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, what about this? Or how do I get this effect? Or something like that. The knowledge that is contained in those four walls in that convention hall is simply amazing.
Yep.
Well, hey, are y'all ready to take some of these awesome questions we're getting?
Yeah.
Poor Kathy can't get a word in.
I can't. I've been trying.
Sorry, Kathy.
All right, Kathy, it's all you,
Okay.
baby.
Christopher Presley would like to know how many vendors are going to be cash and carry, and will they be identifiable?
Okay, so in reality, Transworld isn't a cash and carry show. Do people do it? Absolutely. It's not really something that we promote to occur there. But the industry's changed a lot, probably. I mean, and anybody that's a serious buyer probably knows this. The first day of the show used to be a day where people just come and looked around and check things out. What these guys generally do is they sell their displays at the show. They want to get rid of them so they don't take them home. So if you're calling anything cash and carry, it's more like that. And Thursday is a day where you're going to see people scrambling around to try to get out on the floor as fast as they can and get out there and hit some of their favorite vendors to buy their stuff quickly. So, we would never be able to put together a list that's cash and carry or anything like that, because it's really not something that's promoted at the show. It's more of an order writing show, but I would say on Thursday, that's the day that most people will put signs on products in their booths that the items were sold. There is a rule in our show that you are not allowed to carry things out of the show until it's over on Sunday. Does that occur? We obviously, as big as the show's gotten, there's well over 350 exhibitors now. I think we're approaching 400 right now. It's next to impossible to watch all that stuff, but yeah, there is some. And if there's a day that it generally happens is, I would say Thursday is the day that if you want a unique product to try to get your hands on before someone gets it, and you don't have to deal with the hassles of ordering it, that's the day to buy. And Sundays seems to be a day when guys are trying to clear stuff out and you might catch a better deal.
All right. Very good.
Okay. Kevin Jones would like to know, is it worth it for a small inspired haunter to go to Transworld?
I think so. Only because where else do you get a chance to see all this array of product and get that type of education? There isn't another show like it. So even though we run smaller shows, if you're thinking about getting started in the business, there isn't another show that we run that's going to This is Transworld.
And I think you guys could probably answer that question even better than us. I mean, it's, that from being at Transworld, there is every type of haunter there. I mean, from a huge haunt to somebody that's doing something even on a scale in their neighborhood. We have all different likes, and you can learn some really cool stuff there. So I think no matter what size you are, there's the big guy, the small guy, and the middle-sized guy there. And I think everybody on this cast right now is pretty much all over the place as well.
So I think Rich is right. It's a great place to learn. The education of this show is, you really have the best of the best teaching.
Yeah, and I know just from experience, like after you go through all the shows or the seminars, and then you go to the bar to kick back and have a few drinks, you can sit there and see like all the major haunters from big and small there, and that's all we do is sit back and talk about haunt stuff, or how you build this, or there's haunters that are like, oh, we'll go up to my room, I'll show you how to do that right now. And I mean, it's a lot of networking going on, just like in between the shows and after the shows as well. So I mean, it is really great. I had a blast when we went, and that's definitely a show that I'll never forget for sure.
There's also a lot of talk about MHC, even though this isn't an MHC, is going to be in Chicago. Is there any plans to move Transworld in the near future, or will it be staying in St. Louis?
No, we're staying in St. Louis for the next few years. We've already signed the contracts.
Yeah.
Detroit's nice.
And there was a question for the whole panel from Amanda Revenge. What is everyone looking forward to the most from Transworld this year?
I'm ready for the next viral video. One with the doll, whatever, the kid hanging, kicking.
Sure, right.
I'll tell you what my favorite thing is the first time you walk on the floor on Thursday when it opens.
Yeah.
I just think that there's nothing like it. When you walk in the door. Yeah. I mean, I'm there from the beginning. I walk in the hall and I see it empty, and I'm like, wow, this place is going to transform in a couple days. It starts building on Monday, and we film it. And then by Thursday, when you walk on that floor, you see all these people that I watched. I come in at 11 o'clock at night or 12 at night, and there's guys there still working, building all through the night. There are literally exhibitors. I mean, these guys work their asses off. They're there from the minute they get in on Tuesday morning all the way till Thursday morning that it opens. There are several exhibitors that do that, and they work their tails off. And then when the show opens, they're literally exhausted, and then they got to sell for 3.5 days. This is a show that really makes or breaks a lot of businesses. So, I mean, it's when you walk in that door, you're going to be blown away. Every year I think, like, yeah, I've seen this, but it's different every year. It's a really good feeling when you walk in.
I think Ben Armstrong said it the best. And yeah, but don't get mad. But he said walking on the show floor is almost like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
He said it in a lot of the videos because it just has that rush, that excitement of like almost like where you're a kid. And it's amazing. It's overwhelming, and the feeling of it just feels good.
I mean, and the crazy thing about it is it's hard to imagine when you go in there and you walk the whole show floor and you're like, damn, I've seen everything. But you don't. I mean, if you go back the next day, you haven't seen everything. It's like, where was this when I walked through? Yeah. It's like totally you see something new every day. It's like, wow. I mean, I don't know if it's you're overwhelmed the first day that you like skip over stuff. Like, oh, look at that, and just
No,
pass
it's
through these roofs.
you see the videos like a year later, and I'm like, I don't even remember that.
I'm like,
I mean,
right.
yeah, it's
Right.
you see stuff that is on your floor and you don't even remember it. There is so much to see.
There is.
Yep.
Doug Cox has a question. How many vendors did you have at Transworld in year one? And how many now? Did you ever expect that kind of growth?
No, it's funny because I talked to my dad about it a lot. I remember when we opened the show in St. Louis and there was only like 3 aisles. And
Really?
maybe barely 1,000 people. And to see the growth of it now, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. And I believe that's because of everyone in the industry, the love, the passion that's in this industry. It's not in most trade shows. It's just, it's different. And I believe everyone from the buyers to the exhibitors to us all work together. This is what we created. The buyer boards, exhibitor boards, and groups like Haunters Hangout and everyone else really helped to create the industry that we have today. And everyone should be really proud.
Christy Farrell wants to know, how many attendees are you expecting this year?
I would say probably close to 12 or 13,000.
We're expecting 100,000, but we don't think they're going to show up.
Oh, just sold out.
They're not coming.
Damn it.
All right.
Do we have more questions?
Yeah, is there any more, Captain?
Sure.
Okay.
There's lots of questions.
Jen, I want to touch base real quick while she's looking for another question. When can you get those coveted
Robot
badges?
Tater.
When can we pick those coveted? Can you pick those coveted badges up?
Oh, you're all chopped up there, Tater.
One more time, Tater.
Registration's going to open on Wednesday earlier and stay open later.
That's a great question, Tater, because
we're trying to avoid the lines. We have probably almost 20 registration counters now, and we're trying to move the lines faster because it just gets so jammed up.
Yeah.
So if you're in town on Thursday, come get your badge.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. If you can, I mean, it's a great point. It's the biggest problem is Wednesday the lines get bad too, but we're opening earlier, staying open later, and you should try to get your stuff on Wednesday so you're not held up trying to get it on the floor Thursday, because the lines get really bad on Thursday because you also have the line for people to get in the show and then the lines for registration. But if you can, Wednesday is a great day to try to get that accomplished.
And we did move registration this year, you guys. When you walk in off of Washington, you're going to walk further down, kind of in that courtyard. It was a bigger area, and we needed more space to be able to accommodate all the people coming. So you're going to see kind of a different line for registration. Hopefully it processes things faster.
Jen, is there still one area that it's going to be at, or are you going to have a separate registration for the Christmas side too?
No, it's all going to be
all together.
All in one? Okay.
There'll be 2 entrances. So one goes to the Christmas hall, and one in the original Halloween entrance will remain the same. The line for that will go from the door out towards Washington like it used to. The registration's going to and seminars are all centralized now. They're not going to be at the front down there, Washington. They're going to be down more back where Abon Palm was, and they had like
an escalator on the second floor.
Yeah, they had like a bar back there before. So that area is larger. That's where registration is going to be now. So if you're doing seminars, you just walk right up the steps. You're right in the seminar rooms. You come down, you're back on the show floor. Everything's going to be a lot closer now.
I hope it's more convenient for everybody.
Very good.
Sean Boswell would like to know, how many days does it take to set up Transworld, and how many people, I mean, do you start a week ahead of time? Does it take longer to set up the dark area?
Yeah, so like what happens is we have a small list of about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 exhibitors that have probably been here forever with us, and they build on a larger scale. They get in on Monday, and it's a very limited list because the decorator won't allow any more than that. So it's generally, some of the guys that have to build pretty big facades. One of them's Froggy's. They get in early as well. So they come in, they start on Monday, and then all the rest of the exhibitors come in on Tuesday. They'll start at 8 a.m. and then they're there Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the show opens up on Thursday. So generally, it's 3 days to build a small portion of it, and 2 to build all of it.
I saw one question, and I'm not sure. how much it can relate to you guys or to the show, I mean, in general, but if somebody wants to bring liquids as far as water and stuff like that, are they allowed to bring it on the floor
Yes.
from the outside and there's no
Yeah.
limit to anything?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they should bring liquids. They need it.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Just
right.
wanted to make
I got a question if I can interject a second.
Who are
So
you?
I'm Kevin. Hi. We've talked before. Anyway, the parking looks like it's different. Is it in fact different? Like there's security and stuff on the website. I was just looking into that and I was like, you know, I should probably ask that question.
Yeah. So what we did over the last couple of years, you know that it's a pretty well-known thing in a lot of cities that with convention centers that don't allow guns in them, they basically, there's a lot of theft outside in cars. People think it's for the products in the cars. It's not. It's actually for the weapons. And what they do is they break in the cars because you are not allowed to carry a gun in the convention center. It's actually against the law. It's a government law. You get caught, you can be in a lot of trouble. So they're not allowed to enter it. And a lot of people know that and they leave them in the car. So for years, there were some issues with cars being broken into. And we actually got to a point where we were a little upset with the city of St. Louis not doing anything about it. So we went to them and basically said, if we can't get a resolution where you at least provide us an option, you know, even if it costs money, we need an option where people who care about their stuff have a safe and secure place 24 hours where they can park. And they worked with us, and 2 years ago they came up with a lot. Not a lot of people took advantage of it last year because they really didn't know about it. But this year the numbers are climbing. So on our website we have a parking page, and it's a little more costly than where you would park in some of those surface lots that are just across the street, you know, from the convention center. But this lot is owned by the convention center, and it's actually secured by the attendants during the day, and then in the evening it's patrolled by police. So it's a 24-hour secured parking lot.
Okay, so just real quick to touch on that. It's against the law to bring your gun into the convention center. So do not bring your gun to the convention center. Lock it, do whatever, but you cannot bring your gun into the convention center, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rich. All right, we're going to move on to another vendor. Let's go with Kevin from Missing Finger Productions.
Oh, me.
Kevin, what you got this year at Transworld, buddy?
Oh, me. Hello. Everything is exactly the same. No, I'm kidding. Womp, womp. So we're bringing. We've got one new silicone mask. We're gonna have a couple of new latex foam filled characters. We're gonna have new costuming options in terms of like a corpse type shirt that you can wear. It's not a shirt, it's like a latex thing. And then gloves and foam filled hands. That's going to be new for us. I'm displaying the first official, like brand new product that I'm officially releasing right here.
Well, I'll take 7.
This is our new pumpkin skull. Every year at Transworld, I'll make masks, I'll make all this different stuff. And every year they're like, are you bringing another skull? I want another skull. So now we have a pumpkin skull.
Very cool.
So there's our skull for this year.
Kevin, are you bringing that to cash and carry? You're going to have enough to cash and carry?
Am I going to have enough to
because that pumpkin skull is already sold.
Oh, I mean, if you pre-order them, I'll do my very best to bring as many as possible, but I mean, it's kind of late in the game. I mean, I do have a rotocast machine. I can pump them out decently fast, but as far as like we making more than like 10, because they're resin and they're pretty thick resin. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have some extra, but I mean, as far as like having,
I've got a little pumpkin here. I don't know if you see this, a little pumpkin.
I do.
Here, so I got a little pumpkin thing, so I need a pumpkin skull to go with it.
Tater, I got you, bro.
It's already sold. Don't try to buy that from Kevin. That one's mine.
Yeah, I will definitely have more than one, and I'm gonna have a couple different colors. I'm gonna have a UV reactive one, a glow in the dark one. Some are gonna have like LED eyes. So there's that. I'm trying.
Do you have a price on those pumpkins?
Actually, I don't. It's usually my last step. It's going to be competitive with all the other skulls. I think most of my skulls range from like $25 to $50, so it's going to be in the $25 to $55 price range. Another thing that it's not just going to be me. It's it's going to be bad news bears, I think, for a lot of vendors. Smooth on materials went up. The cost of the materials went up this year, and I unfortunately cannot absorb the cost. And I mean, it's some products are like 7% increase. Some products have more than doubled. Like for instance, like the paint thinner that I use for my silicone masks went from $16 a pint to now it's $43 or $45 a pint. So, I mean, we're talking about, oh yeah, that's our new paint job, that scarecrow mask. That's the new tribal paint job for burlap. So, but yeah, unfortunately, like, and it's not going to be a big deal. I mean, we're talking like most products for me are only going to be like $1 or $2 more as it averages out. But just, you know, in advance, it's going to be things going to be a couple more dollars per item just because I can't absorb the cost.
Brian Van Camp would like to know, what's the story behind the name Missing Finger?
Well, if you look at the camera, that's my stump.
When Kevin flicks you off, you just go, "That's adorable."
It is, you know, and this is, you know, and I listen to like that Marilyn Manson song where he's talking about where he wasn't born with enough metal fingers. I'm like, truth, preach, my friend. But yeah, so actually 3 of my fingers, I got like Frankenstein hand over here. You can't really see it, but 3 of my fingers got amputated, and they sewed 2 of them back on, but the middle one was it was right at the knuckle joint, so I was unfortunate enough to not get it back. And believe it or not, my military training saved my index finger because I snatched up a tourniquet and applied it immediately, and that's what kind of saved my index finger. I wouldn't even have that.
Wow.
So, and we're looking at like when people are talking about like sculpting, I see a lot of new sculptors and stuff. I'm like, oh man, that's cool. I wish I had all my hand to sculpt. So like, yeah, I have to blot like all the sculptures that you see of mine. They're all done with my non-dominant left hand. Like that's
wow.
So we're looking at it's a slow process for me. So I mean, I watch dudes like bust out like Alan Hops, man. He's like, oh, I love working in wet clay, and I bust this stuff out. I'm like, nice. I'm like, well, I can't.
Kevin, is this scarecrow mask new for this year, or is this something you just did a new paint scheme for this year?
Just a new paint scheme. That was our OG. It's missing its hood in that picture. That was our original one of our original 3 silicone masks that we debuted actually at Transworld 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know how many years I've been going to Transworld, 2 or 3. And that's actually still my #1 selling mask because it's like 200. The one there is probably, it's a half mask, but it comes with a big hood, so it looks like a whole mask, and it's breathable in the back. It's reinforced with power mesh, and I give you a baklava, so your mouth, it's got a big old mouth and it's creepy, and so it's anywhere from like 200. I think this year it's going to be like 265 to like 310, depending on which version you get. And you get a silicone mask, you get a full hood. It looks like a full thing, and it's comfortable, and people buy a considerable amount of them. So that makes me pretty happy.
Did you say you get a free baklava, Kevin?
Well, yeah, because they're I know
free
like,
pastry.
I'm in baklava, the gator neck, man, the blackout mask.
And just so we're clear on this, Kevin, do you know your booth number?
Yeah, I'm 417.
Great.
Good.
Yeah, I could when I turn to the edge, I see the Froggy's Fog Empire.
Oh, look at the picture here. You can see it.
I was gonna say, look at the picture there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm right across the street from oh dang it, Frightprops, and their booth last year just got massive. It's like aluminum pipes, and it's super industrial, and they had like a skeleton like headbanging with a flag up on the thing, and I was like, whoa, big stuff.
Yeah, so booth 417. Make sure you go directly to Kevin and bring your wallet. Just he doesn't even have pen and paper. Just throw your wallet at him. He will decide what's best for you.
Maybe not the whole wallet, because some of you, I've seen some of these wallets, man.
Just no whole wallet.
Okay. All right.
Kathy, do we have questions for Kevin?
There was one as to how he got started making props. Lots of questions about that. How you got started.
I was a home hunter, and
Okay.
you know, people started buying stuff out of my front yard, and I was like, okay, so or I could maybe do this thing, and then I started making stuff and selling them at like tattoo conventions and hard rock conventions down here in Florida, stuff like that, and then one thing led to another, and it spiraled in, and
Cool.
you know, next thing I know, I'm at Transworld, and I'm the small guy.
Here you are.
Some of these booths are just massive.
Yeah. And another thing with Kevin, I don't want to speak on behalf of you, but I know that because I've bought a couple of your products. He does have a lot of different options. He has skulls and other products that actually have lights in them. You know, LED eyes. You know, they actually have. Most of them are all LEDs. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. Right? All your lighting is LED. So.
Yeah, I've everything that I sell with lights in it is all LED. They're American-made LEDs, and I try to buy the best stuff I can get. You know, I don't want to. Yeah, I try not to. You know what I mean? I try to make good stuff.
Yep. So awesome. All right.
We will go to.
Who you
want?
want?
Who you want to go to? Mike or Mel?
We'll go whatever you want. Go to Mike.
Go to Mike.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. Who are you? What's your company? What do you do?
Mike.
What's new?
I'm here for, technically on the map, it's Lens Serve Optic, and for XFX Makeup.
Nice. And what is your booths? I kind of cheated and looked. I think it was 1321 and 1214. Am I right in that?
Yeah. Lens Serve Optic, Homogothica is 1321, and XFX is 1214.
Awesome.
And all right, so let's talk contacts first. We'll put your feet to the flame. What's new and exciting, or rules have changed, or something, or blah blah? Can I cash and carry contacts from your booth?
Due to new laws, you cannot cash and carry contact lenses from any booth anymore.
Okay, so
with new laws,
you broke up a little bit. So repeat that.
With the new laws.
There we go.
With the new laws, you cannot cash and carry contact lenses legally from any booth or any costume shop or pretty much anywhere. Cash and carry, the days of cash and carry lenses is pretty much gone.
Okay, so all you hunters, get that through your head. Do not make Mike or ask Mike or Michelle or whoever break the law so you can get your contacts carried out of the show. He will not do it. It's against the law. You must place an order with them.
Can you explain why, so people understand why you shouldn't be doing it?
There are the new, every lens, there is no generic size for lenses. Everyone has different eye shapes, eye sizes. Some of you may have astigmatism, some of you may not. Astigmatism is where the eye isn't perfectly rounded. We need to make sure that the lenses that you are putting in are correct and safe for you. If your buddy goes and buys a lens in their size, and you go put in that lens and it's not your correct size, you're in for a very, very bad evening. And possible permanent damage as well. So the FDA has put in new laws that you do have to go through a verification, which we actually put it up on the Transworld website already. There's actually a number you can call. You can pre-order your lenses. We'll get the verification done before the show. So that way, when you arrive, the lenses are sitting there waiting for you. This also works out really well because a lot of times people come in and they're like, I want black lenses. And I'm like, I sold out of black on Thursday. And
so you can pre-order your lenses and pick them up at the show. That is the only way to get the lenses out of the door.
Yes, you need to pre-order your lenses. The 1-800 number is open. I think we're open close to 12 hours a day right now, getting ready for Transworld. If we don't answer, leave a voicemail, and we'll get back to you. You need the pre-order. We need to get all your information, so that way the lenses are there waiting for you, and they are the ones specifically for you. You can place a order at the show, but if you're placing it at the show, it's going to ship afterwards. We still have to go through the same process. So the same verification process is going to be before the show or after. So if you want to wear lenses for any of the awesome events Transworld has at night, you need to pre-order.
Gotcha.
And that's for prescription lenses too.
Yeah, that's for prescription or non-prescription.
Okay.
Mike, are your lenses FDA approved?
They're FDA approved, cleared, and certified.
There you go.
Awesome. Now, Mike, you also, so we talked about the lenses. Now, do you offer you obviously offer other things like makeup. What can you talk about your makeup a little bit?
Yeah, we offer two main lines. We have water activated cakes, which we've actually added 16 new colors for this year.
For cake, and then I have not heard anything after cake. And I got hungry.
You don't eat it, Tater. Don't eat it. And then we also offer airbrush. We really love UV, so we've actually added, all in all, in cake makeup, we have 12 different UV colors. In airbrush, we now have 18 different UV colors, and out of that, 4 of them are invisible in daylight. So they only show up under black light.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Now,
do you have if I want to say like if I was going to start a company called like Kevin's called Missing Teeth Production, do you have like teeth?
Yes.
In case not everybody has the luxury of missing an actual tooth out of their head.
Yeah, we make ToothWorks, which is a alcohol-based tooth lacquer, not liquor, lacquer.
Damn it.
Yep. Shut you down.
And that comes in green, red, brown, nicotine, spinach green, black. And then we have one, and this one freaks me out the most, white. It gives you like perfectly clean, bright white teeth. And that just, I don't know. The few times we've done actors with that in the haunt with the white tooth lacquer, people just jump. Like, I don't know, I guess you're not expecting like Ken doll teeth.
That's awesome.
Dude, I need to get me some of that for every day.
I know.
Mike, Jordan Gallows would like to know, is there any airbrush bundles that you sell? Do you have airbrush makeup?
Yeah, we have close to 60 something colors in airbrush now.
And that'll be available for cash and carry, he wants to know?
There will be some available for cash and carry. The larger sizes, typically you will have to order. I can tell you a lot of the undead and zombie colors always go very, very quick. So once again, we would recommend, actually you can contact ahead of time if you wanted to, but some haunts do that for the larger. One new thing we're doing this year is actually going to launch at Transworld is our featured haunt program, which select haunts can apply, and you can actually make up to, you can save up to 40% off of your makeup, just so that way, because we know makeup gets expensive, and we were haunters, so we know money isn't always there. Money's tight.
Christy Farrell would like to know, will you be doing makeup demos at your booth?
Yes, we'll be doing makeup demos at the booth. We have Mythica Von Griffin coming in this year from Skin Wars.
Oh.
She'll be there all weekend. We are possibly having Jonathan Mario from Game Face on Sci-Fi. He hasn't confirmed yet. We're still waiting on him, but hopefully he'll be there as well.
Jeff Foster wants to know, what's your most popular lens that you sell?
The most popular lens, which I've never agreed with, is just a solid black. Because in the haunt industry, most of it's dark. So solid black is, I'm talking about like in regular size, not the Scalera. Black is, well, it's black. It doesn't really show. My favorite personal is angelic white because it's bright and it's noticeable even in the haunt.
Yeah. I got the black one time, and it's like nobody even noticed I was wearing contacts. They're like, I was like, "How you like my contacts?" They're like, "What? You wearing contacts?" I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah. I like the purple ones with the like lightning strikes in them. I don't know. I can't remember what those are called. But
Purple Tempest.
Yes, Purple Tempest. Yes, exactly. Yep.
Sean Pulliam would like to know, do you sell the airbrush equipment or do you just sell the makeup?
We do
my
sell the
question.
equipment, but all the manufacturers we sell for will be there. I mean, you can obviously order through us, but Hache is a few rows away, and Grex is a row the opposite direction. So
Really? Oh.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Harbor Freight airbrushes are not your friend. I'm telling you, despite what everybody says.
Yeah.
Once you use a nice airbrush, man, nothing ever replaces that.
So what is your website again? Julie and Griffin would like to know. What is your
for contact lenses, it's lensserveoptic.com. The retail side of that is actually exoticlenses.com if you're just ordering a couple singles here and there. And for makeup, it is xfxmakeup.com.
And everything that they need to know to pre-order for their prescription and everything is all right there, right?
Yep, everything's on the site.
Very good. All right. So we'll move over to Melanie from Nightmare Makers.
I made it. Can you hear me?
We made her a bit last.
Yeah.
Last, just in
I
case you
appreciate
get last.
I figured it out.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Do you have any skulls to show us, Mel?
I brought some upstairs, yes. So this is
Damn it.
one of the finished skulls that we're also giving as prizes.
Okay. Let's take
Yes.
let's take a pause real quick. Who are you? What's your company?
Yes.
What are you bringing to Transworld?
Okay, so the company name is Nightmare Makers, Melanie, and we specialize in hard foam skulls like these. They're rigid foam skulls, but they have a very nice smooth finish, so you can see the details. And we also have molds, silicone molds available where you can make your own skulls from. The new thing this year is going to be the screaming skull, what we call it, which I just showed, which will have the open jaw. This is
Like
just
you
the finished
screaming.
one. Like you're screaming.
Good name. Good name.
Thanks. We offer the molds and the skulls as either full with or without jaw, or even a flat back, which is easier for mounting if you want to do more of a catacomb wall type thing, also with or without jaw.
Jeff Foster would like to know, what is your most popular skull that you saw?
We really have three. It's going to be numbers, which is what we have on our page too. Number 2, 4, and 5 are the most popular ones.
What happened to number 1?
Well, we have number 1 and we have a number 3 too, but apparently those are not as popular.
So for those of you that are wondering, we have a picture up showing the
Yes.
different numbers here. So
Yes.
You have how many designs in all? 5.
5, yes.
Okay.
And there's 4 options for each.
Number 1 has a giant head like Phil.
you're lucky
Giant
I'm behind
forehead.
the picture right now.
What the fuck was that, man? I was just like, fuck you, Phil.
Shots fired. And these are your molds here, Melanie?
I'm sorry?
These are your molds here?
I do see the molds. The top picture, that would be a flat back, so that you can also save a little bit on foam if you really just want to do walls or you want to attach them to tombstones, things like that. And then the bottom one is more of a full with the whole back of the skull itself.
And a beginner like myself, I guess we will say, this is easy for us to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Yes. Being that it's, sorry,
Phil,
go ahead.
It's super easy, dude. It's
Wait,
super
is the question for beginners or for Phil? That's a different
Right.
question.
No, I did it one time, and I had talked to Mel, and we went back and forth for a long time because I wanted to make sure I got the right skull, and she was very helpful, and we ended up getting it. And I swear, I couldn't stop making the molds, dude. My wife's like, "Don't you have enough?" I'm like, "No, I just gotta keep making them," and you get the right mixture of the mix, and you get the right mixture, and you just make the perfect skull, and then it comes out, and then you make another one, it comes out, then you get anxious and you pull them out before they're done, and then you get a really cool looking skull that you didn't know you was going to have. And it's pretty addicting when you start making these things.
So I've heard, yes.
Yeah.
And both the skulls and the molds will be able for order, cash and carry, or whatever at Transworld.
Well, the best thing to do is to pre-order of molds and skulls, just a few skulls really at the show. We might bring a surprise. Not sure about that.
See that wink?
If you guys want, if you already know which one, check out the Facebook page and stuff. And I can certainly bring any pre-orders. I can't promise you that there will be a lot of the cash and carry or anything there.
Yeah,
and shirts if you would like the shirts too.
And have it sitting there waiting for you.
Yes,
in a white garbage bag.
Yes, in a white garbage bag, just for you, Tater.
Right.
And Melanie, if I'm right, your booth number 1135, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Christopher Arnott would like to know how many pulls can you get out of one of your molds?
So we suggest between 60 and 80. It really depends on what material you're putting in. But we've had customers get over 100 out of them. After a while, if you're using the foam will start to stick. But depending on how you're finishing it, if you're putting a primer on it and such, it's not really visible. So we've had multiple customers say that they've gotten over 100 skulls out of the molds.
Right. I think mine both right now are in the 80 range, and I haven't had a problem with the pull yet. So
perfect.
Yeah, I got to get some more stuff. So I'm going to put it to the test. And
Good.
You may have said this, but I'm slow. So what is the best stuff you can put in?
You just left Tater. Tater's not even going to say nothing, man.
Frosted Flakes are no skill.
Yeah. Well, what's the best foam you recommend for it?
The foam that we use for the skulls and what we also use in our molds is a rigid polyurethane 2-port mold. So there's an A and a B mixed together and it expands. The reason why I like that one is because it has the smooth finish, which very much shows the detail. Like on this one, for example, you can see all the little details and such. You can certainly use resin or a different foam, but I haven't really used any other foam, so I can't really recommend anything.
Where do you get the foam? Or where do you get the stuff at?
Break in the Yard. And I can certainly put a link on our Facebook page again, but I believe there is one if you scroll down a little bit, but I'll put one back on there.
Yeah, that's what I use too, because you guys use that, and you can really tone it in to where you can measure out just perfect,
yes,
where there's no extra weight.
Correct.
Took me a minute, but I got it.
Proud of you.
Sean Boswell would like to know, will you offer any animal skulls or any other molds of?
We do not have animal skulls, no. No
plans to?
Not at the moment, no. We have a lot of plans, but there's only so much I can do.
Tim Thompson would like to know, how many skulls do you think you've made in a year?
Oh gosh, we started making skulls actually when we owned a pro haunt, so we had a lot of decorations and such. So there's no way to tell how many skulls we've actually made.
Nice.
Awesome. Very well. Well, looks like we're coming up on the end of the night here.
Phil, I swear to God, if you don't call on me in Froggy's Fog, I am going to beat you.
I was like, I know Phil did not go there.
Somebody else
Everybody's talking. We're done.
Wait, did you guys hear something? Did you guys hear something? I didn't hear
Excuse me.
You've been talking all night. It's not our fault if you didn't plug yourself.
Excuse me, Tater, can you please talk about Froggy's Fog? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, then we have our last vendor spotlight of the night. We have Froggy's Fog. Tater, you want to talk a little bit about Froggy's Fog and what we have, what we're going to see this year at Transworld?
Sure, Phil. I would love to. Thank you so much. We've got three booths. Obviously, the 3 giant booths at Transworld. For the first time ever.
Whoa! You forgot one.
And we got one on the Christmas side too, just for Diablo.
That's
We
right.
got a giant life-size cutout of him
Thank you, Rich, for making him say that.
Right?
Wrapped in
it
Christmas
blows
lights.
the snow on everybody walking in the hall.
Yeah.
That's right. I got a life-size cutout of Diablo wrapped in Christmas lights.
Heard
It'll
you
be at the
whispering,
Christmas
Jen. Don't
booth.
walk off.
We have the three big show booths. For the first time ever, all of the machines are physically in stock, ready for you to cash and carry out of that show floor. Every single machine that we offer, from the brand new Titans that totally got reworked over the last year, the low-lying ground foggers, the 3 different versions of that, the 3 different versions of the upshots, the 2 different versions of the Fobbles machine. Everything is ready for you to cash and carry out of directly from our warehouse.
You forgot the snow machine.
I'm not allowed to talk about Christmas, Rich. Every machine, even the snow machines, are ready to cash and carry, and they're physically in stock when we're at Transworld. So they are ready for you to go, and they will be at your house. They'll probably beat you home.
Any new products for this year?
Yeah, Shane Long wants to know if there's nothing new from Froggies or any new scents.
Maybe. I know we were working on new scents. I don't know if we're gonna have them ready by Transworld. I know that we made some improvements on some of the fog machines. They now have what they call rapid fire technology on them, which means you can do the blast of fog, and 10 seconds later, you can still pump fog back out of that machine again. So it's not like the typical fog machine where you need to stop and heat up, stop and heat up. You're going to do a big blast, and 10 seconds later, you're going to be able to get some more fog out of that machine. Those are in every one of our fog machine, Titan series fog machines. The low-lying ground foggers, you guys who didn't go to IAPA, we now have 3 different models. They're no ice, no refrigeration, no CO2. Runs on 90% water, 10% fog juice. It physically atomizes the water. It drops the fog and makes it heavier. It physically comes out of the tube and comes straight down. So if I would take the tube and hold it up to my head, it would just pour out and go down. It's an amazing effect. It's really, really cool machine. And because it runs on water, we do have the machines have the option to hook a hose right to it. So it auto fills. So you don't have to worry about it at the end of the night. All of our Titans have a 5-gallon or 5-liter tank on the back of it. So, saving it. All of the upshots, the D4 and the D6 are the first variable output upshots ever. So the first time ever in the world, you can control how much smoke comes out of the upshots or out of the Titans. So we are there with that. As for, there is another big surprise coming. It does not have anything to do with Froggies.
I was going to ask you about this one.
What? I'm sorry, Phil?
No, I said I was going to ask you about this one. There's another surprise in the books, right?
There is something coming to Transworld, and it involves somehow, some way, some form of me, and that's all I'm allowed to say right now.
And it will be at Transworld, right?
It will definitely be at Transworld.
All right.
And I will be teasing it on my Facebook until they actually announce what it is.
Awesome.
So as for the new scents, I've got some new ones working. I can't spill the beans on those yet. Hopefully we'll have them done enough time at Transworld. If not, probably MHC.
Awesome. If anybody has any fog needs, definitely reach out to Tater. He's your man. So
thanks, Phil.
See, I'm nice to you, man. See, I can be nice too.
He's trying to make up. He's trying to make up.
Well, as the night comes to a close here, we still have to do prizes. So I want to say thank you all for coming on tonight. Thank you for our sponsors, especially the vendor spotlights we've had here tonight, for even supporting Horrornaments Hangout and giving away free prizes to our guests that are watching tonight. So please make sure you support them. Remember, the booths, if you're going to Transworld, are 1321, 1214, 417, and 11:35. So please support those
And
local vendors.
522, 523, 623. Thanks, Phil. Yet again.
Back in the doghouse. God damn it.
You're gonna be fired on the first day.
I got some work to do for next week. I know.
And you didn't even let Kathy have any questions for me either. You just went
you
right
can
back.
answer them on Facebook.
I got a couple in there.
Well, we're coming up on 11, so and also for all of you that are still on the edge about going to Transworld, if you have any questions or any concerns, definitely check out the haashow.com. That's the website. There's a lot of your resources that you're looking for are on that website, so definitely check that out. You can find your oh no, I'm messing up. all the events
nice
and seminars. I know.
You know it's a good day when Phil just goes, oh no.
Yeah. That's where you can find all your events, all the seminars available. So definitely check out haashow.com. And thank you, Jen and Rich, for coming on tonight and giving away some awesome prizes. So
especially good shout out to Jen since she can't shout out herself.
Yes.
Coming on with a sick, dying voice.
Yes.
Kudos to her for that.
And if
Diablo, are you going to watch the Christmas show with me this year? Because I would love that.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Something tells me that Transworld won't be invited back.
You'd have to bring Margaret.
No, and I'm happy to.
Yeah, Margaret would probably want to go to the Christmas.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's like, Christmas show? Okay, let's go.
So, all right. So, Jamie,
Yes.
I think I'm handing it over to you, right?
Well, you're not doing prizes?
Oh, no. Don't do this to me.
Yes, I will do that for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I apologize in advance because I'm going to butcher some names, so I'm sorry. If I say your name in some horrible way, please contact Diablo and give him your name, your address, and your email address, and he will hook you up with your prizes. And let me show you again what our beautiful prizes are. And so here we go. For the Face Factory FX mask, the winner is Thomas Littleton. The Frightprops bucket of poo, metal bucket, goes to Kevin Jones. The Sinful audio prize goes to James Robertson. The Horrornaments Gone Batty ornament goes to...
Look at that.
What?
You're good at that now.
I knew.
Nice
Ornaments. Goes to Jerry Barb. The 1 gallon of fog juice from Froggy's Fog goes to Sean Boswell.
Open the can.
The Haunt badges go to Brian Van Camp. And just a reminder, everybody that's watching tonight gets 50% off of Sam Haynes if they use the code HAUNTERS.
All right.
Make sure you take advantage of that. The awesome realistic looking skull from Nightmare Makers goes to Jeff Foster. The $25 gift certificate from formerly I Love FX Makeup, which is now, remind me, Mike, what's your new name?
XFX.
Yes, I need to change my link on that. I'm sorry.
You do?
I do. I will check it for next show. I promise. That goes to Jack Mack. The set of the free lenses from Exotic Lenses goes to Jordan Gallows. The $25 gift certificate from Hotwire goes to Anna Haywood Jones. Hope I said that right. The amazing mask from Missing Fingers Production goes to Shane Long.
All right, Shane. Hey, go, buddy.
Okay, the next three names I read are all getting 2 free passes to the Thursday night City Museum party.
Nice.
And those go to Tanya Newberry Gabaralt. I hope that's your name, Gabaralt. So sorry, Tanya. To Kenny Roosh and to Melissa Polson. The next three names get 2 tickets to the Saturday Night Vampire Ball, and that is Benjamin. Oh gosh, Gagne, Gagne.
Gagne.
There we go. Okay, Benjamin Gagne, Alan Howe, and Rebecca Rose.
I'm glad I didn't have that part.
That's why we give it to her.
How come you didn't stutter on Rebecca Rose's last name?
What?
Nothing. You're the best.
Did I screw something up?
No. And Jen and Rich, how do they claim them prizes when it comes to the show floor?
If they could send me an email, and then they'll pick them up at the information counter. They'll be in the show office.
And that email address is?
Okay, Rich, why don't you tell us where we picked them up?
We'll email Jen, JEN@HAAshow.com with your information. And then you'll pick them up at the information counter. It'll be down there registration.
Nice.
It'll be across from the show office.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, you're going to sign us off, Jose?
Right. That's great, guys. This is our first show, season 7. We've been, oh my God, it's been such a long time. And hope you guys enjoyed the show. We want to thank all our vendors, all our sponsors for the Hangout. Lord knows they give away free stuff for you guys all the time. So you got to appreciate them. Make sure you go to them for all your hunt needs. And we want to thank Jen and Rich for coming on. Transworld's definitely the show to see. I've been there quite a few times, and it's amazing. You won't forget it if you go. And I want to thank everybody that helped us out. Kathy, Jamie, and Phil too. And, and thanks Tater for coming and hosting for us tonight. And we're going to be out here, and we'll be putting the intro out, and we'll have a new show coming next Wednesday. And we're out of here.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys later. Woo-hoo.
See ya.